Hello, everyone, and welcome to this demo of the Zoho People software. Now, I just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to kind of look at what this software can do in different organizations. If you'd like kind of a more detailed demo of this, please feel free to reach out and I can take you through a little bit more how you can apply this software in your organization. Now, one of the reasons why I like this software is that it is highly customizable and is very cost effective compared to some of the other options that I've seen. And so if there are things or modules within this that you don't need, again, that will affect pricing as well as we can just turn off certain features as well. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of an overview of what the system looks like, and hopefully you'll get a better idea of how you might be able to apply this in your organization. So um, first and foremost, this is kind of our dashboard or our home. And so you can see here, we're kind of in our dashboard of this. Now, again, depending if you have time and attendance selected for this, we can check in here. So this is kind of our clock in. We also have a couple different areas as well, including announcements. So this is kind of a message board. If we have any current requests for approval, so if we have vacation requests that we need to approve, or in this case, I have a discipline waiting for me to approve here. If we want to add any quick links to the organization as well, we can do that through here, and just have areas. So if you have your benefit provider that you want a quick link to, you can add those here as well. If there are different things like birthdays in the organization, those will show up here for anyone whose birthday is that day. If we have any new hires, so Joe Griffin here is a new hire within our organization. If we have any favorites, so if you click on employee profiles on a regular basis, you can select them as a favorite and add them here. We can see who's in our department. Again, look at our attendance for that day. We can look at our leave report, so how many days that we currently have on vacation, scheduled or have been taken. Any upcoming holidays. So if we have the upcoming Thanksgiving weekend, for example, we can add that as a holiday here as well. Here we can see kind of our employee growth, excuse me, throughout the years. And again, if this is not something you want the average person to see, we can turn this off as well. We can see here we have for goals, how many people have entered or left the organization within that time period, and then if we have any pending tasks as well. So we can also see any work anniversaries that day, as well as whether or not we have any organizational files. So we have a competency template or things like that. You can put your employee handbook here to make it easily accessible. If you have any employee files, I have my resume here, or if you have disciplinary action or other things that you might need to store on specific employees that can be accessed through this dashboard. So we'll quickly jump into kind of our self-service side of things. So this is where employees can go in and certainly look at where who they're reporting to. So reporting to John Smith, our CEO, looking at some direct reports if we have them in the organization. If there's any tags on the individual, so if you want to tag anybody who is a golfer, for example, we can tag those people. We can look at our skill sets. Look at different information, who we're reporting to, what department, seating location, titles, date of joining. All of these things can be accessed through this system here as well. We can also look at anybody who's on your team. We can see who's there. If we have a calendar, so any upcoming items that we have in our own calendar can be displayed here. Again, we can see in our leave tracker, I've got 40.5 days of vacation available, and I've taken 2. If I want to, I can quickly apply for a leave through this system as well. Moving over to our attendance, again, I can check in. It's displaying the current time right now. It can display as well, who or where, if I was absent or present during that time. It also kind of show you whether or not I was on paid leave, holiday, any weekends, absent, all of those things in this report as well. Similar to the dashboard, I can also see that there are shared with me through the employee onboarding as well. I've got part of that in file in my personal file rather, my resume that I can add in there. And it's quickly, again, really easy just to add an employee file or a personal file through that system as well. Delegations, again, it's a pretty simple feature. If I'm going to be away on holidays for a week and I want to have somebody else respond to vacation requests, I can apply or add a delegation through that and have it basically, expire on a certain date as well. If I have any goals assigned to me, I can see what those goals are. So I have one goal here: ensure monthly performance reviews are occurring. It's overdue by 1 day. It's at 25% of the been completed, and I can quickly add goals to this as well. Now, this is a custom form that I built into the system, and it tracks discipline. And so I can see now anyone who or any type of disciplinary action on this particular employee. And so myself, I have a verbal and 2 written disciplines added to that individual. I can see did not wear safety glasses, and this was a verbal for a safety infraction. So, and this discipline was approved. So, again, these can all be tracked in this system. And again, it's very highly customizable about what we can add. And like I said, this was a custom form that I built for the system. Looking at things like our leave tracking, again, this is where we can add, custom leaves. So if you have vacation time, if you have sick leave, if you have personal days, we can all put them into this system here and have people apply for leave throughout the system. So I can select what type of leave. Right now, all I have is vacation time set up for this organization. And I can select that I want the 5th through the 9th as vacation. I can select I want a full day because that's how I have it configured. On the back end of the system, I can select to do half days or things of that nature as well. It'll tell me that my available balance is 40.5 days. I have currently booked 5 through this request, and then balance after the booked leave would be 35.5. It's going to estimate my balance. So again, these will be accruing over the next a couple of months. And then as of December 31st, 2020, I'll have back up to 38 days. I can then type in the reason for leave or not, and I can hit submit, which will submit that as a request. So I can see now that my request is now pending. And my supervisor will get a notification that a request has been made, and they can go in and approve or reject that. I can then go into my calendar view and see that vacation time has now been put into this calendar. I can also view by department to see anyone in my department who might be, gone the same days that I am as well. I can see that again. I can see this here, and that the approval is pending as well. As I mentioned, we can go into the back end of the system here and customize, what type of vacation time that you might have, or other days that you might be absent. So sick days or personal days, depending on what your organization offers. And it's really quickly is just clicking this button and adding, and we can customize the accrual, reset, all of that based into what your company's policies are. Moving over to the attendance module, I can see what the attendance is for certain individuals in the organization. These individuals have been present. If I go into my calendar view, I can look at this individual here. I can go back to last month. They were present every day last month. I go into another individual here, and they were absent all of last month. So we can look at all of that as well. If I want to have a little bit of a different look to it, I can again select what the clock in and clock out for certain individuals were. First in, last out, total hours, any unpaid breaks, payable hours, if there's any overtime deviation from that, so either over and above, and then I can also see what shift that they were on as well. And again, all of these are highly customizable as far as what shifts they are. As well as looking at a shift calendar for individuals, again, just to display what shift they might be on as well. I'll quickly go through the performance module as well. So this, again, myself, I can see my review here. I have skill sets assigned to me, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word. I can tag a skill set, for example. I want to now add a Office 365 as a skill set for myself. I can go in there and I can say that it's a level 0. I can upgrade that again, depending on what skill sets you would like to have in your organization. Do you want to upgrade the skill level? Yes, we do. And then I can upload any supporting document. So if I have a certificate to say that I'm of a level 1, I can add that as well. Go ahead and upgrade, and now you can see that I'm now a level 1. And again, we can customize whatever type of skill sets that you're looking for in the organization, as well as what kind of weightage it does have as far as the overall weight for performance. Looking at your goals, here we can add any type of goals that we might have. I can filter out status pending. I can view all, search. I can see that this one, finish or report, was completed. And so obviously we don't want to see all of our goals necessarily, just the ones that are just pending. And so we go back to that view as well. I can add a quick goal to it, goal name, finish that report, add a due date, just by selecting the dates, pretty easy to do. And then just adding a priority to that as well. I can then add a progress. So if we're 10, 25, 50% of the way through, it's pretty easy that way as well. If we have different competencies within organizations, again, this might be something that you'd like to track in here. So again, competencies might be some of those soft skills that you'd like to be able to track. So things like reliability, problem solving, analytical, decision making. We can all have that as part of certain competencies that are tagged to this individual. Currently, I don't have any appraisals in the system right now, and we can, once that's added, we can go through and we can actually do a self review on ourselves as part of our performance review process. If I go into an individual, let's say within the organization, let's go to Joe here. I can see that we have some skill sets again for tagged to this individual. We don't have any goals assigned to this individual. We have some competencies assigned to this individual's position. We can add a summary. So a summary would be something that we would add throughout the year and select areas that he or she needs to improve on. We can add that as part of our summary. There's no self-appraisals that the individual has completed at this point. And then I can go in here and see, the appraisal process has been completed. So again, this is where a manager would go in and be able to assess the individual's performance when that is available. In here, I can see the organization in the skill set matrix within the organization. We have certain individuals. This could be a very long list of all of the different skill sets, but if you're looking for someone in particular who has Office 365 and all different levels, I can go ahead and hit search. And I can see that these individuals have a level 0 and myself, I have a level 1 in that particular skill set. So again, if you're looking for particular individuals within an organization with a particular skill set, this particular matrix will help you find that out. Clicking on the goals tab here, I can also see all the different goals that have been assigned to in the organization. Now, this particular view, because I'm the admin, I can see all of the different views, or all the different goals rather, that have been assigned to everyone in the organization. If I just want to see subordinates in my data, I can click that button here. Now, everyone who's been assigned goals are currently my subordinates, so that's what I'm looking at. If all I want to see is my data, I can again select this here as this drop down, and it removes the other individuals' goals from that list. Again, this discipline is a custom form that I built into the system. We can customize these type of forms for what works for your organization. Right now, this particular one here has been written by myself towards the employee, Justin Edwards, a written warning, and he did not wear his safety glasses. I can go ahead and approval pending, and I can go ahead and see what's going on here. I approved the original report because I'm the one that submitted it. This one then automatically goes to the HR department for review. I can go in here, write a comment, looks good. and I can go ahead and approve that, which then at that point there, that gets sent to the employee for their own review, and for them to accept. So they'll get an email to say that there's been a new disciplinary action lodged against them. They'll have to go and review it with their manager, and then they'll have to go into the system and approve that disciplinary action. Again, this is where we can go into the settings in the back end of the system. A couple different performance modules that I have kind of turned off at the moment include feedback. If there are any KRAs or key result areas, we can compare our KRAs versus our goals. And then we can also track things like salary in the system as well throughout this program. If we want to add, so we've got a couple different appraisal cycles here for July and August. They've now been completed, or sorry, this one hasn't started, and these ones haven't been completed just yet. But we can go in and we can add, certainly different appraisal cycles depending on what we want to look at. So if we want to look at April until June, for example, we can go ahead and select that date there, which will give us, of course, a 3-month a window there that we're looking at for that individual. Process period, and we can go through all of these different selections here, and then add our different ratings that we have for that individual. So again, this is quite customizable, and depending on how you as an organization do your performance reviews. Here's the back end of the system where then we can go ahead and add different skill sets for the organization. So it's quickly as simple as adding a skill and a description if you have one. And then we can tag skills to different positions. So we have HR generalists, we have certain skill sets they require, as well as our director of HR, different skill sets again. If you have the KRA, the key result area, we can look at that. So turnover, employee satisfaction, people management, again, is part of our key results area for this particular position. And we can add, again, and then tag that to a particular position as well. If you have certain competencies, this here is the list of all the different competencies that I have added to this system here. And really, again, it's as simple as adding a title and a description to that particular competency. And then I can tag a competency to a designation or a job title, or I can tag it to a department. So if everyone in your marketing department, the department in our marketing department requires intellectual horsepower, we can go ahead and add that. It'll automatically add that competency requirement to their job profile. This is where the potential is. So again, we're looking at the different ranges. The summary, these are some of the questions that can be added in the summary page as well. So that kind of in a nutshell is our performance review tab or our module within the system. So again, it's highly customizable to what's going to work in your organization, and individuals will get notified when a performance review is due. So we can really keep track of who's completed them and who hasn't, done right through the different appraisal status reports. So again, here we can see that we have a total of 6 pending and 0 completed. We have 1 completed in the review status and 5 pending. So we can kind of go in and drill down to see where things are at with, we can see Justin Edwards is completed here, and the self-appraisal is still pending. So we can review kind of who's been left out. The files tab is pretty simple. Again, this is where we can upload different files for the organization. So the organizational files we can upload based on organization-wide or department-wide files. So if you have your employee manual or things like that you want them to review. Here are different files for all employees. Again, I can select just the employees that we want. And certainly if there are files to some of my reports, my direct reports, I can look at those as well. And again, we can control the security on these so that only particular individuals have access to the employee files. The organization is just kind of a full list of everyone in the organization, as well as just some of their information. Again, department, same idea. We can view what the departments are. We can look at the titles. So if we want to add different titles to individuals within the organization, we can add them here. When people have departed the organization, we can look at the organizational chart. So in this case, I report to John Smith, the CEO. myself, director of HR, and then looking at my direct reports as well. So I can click on anybody within the organization and kind of see how everyone connects to that. I can also look at the department tree. So the executive branch, in the HR department, I can see myself, and then the team below that as well. Pretty self-explanatory. Anybody who are birthday, new hires, any favorites, groups, if there are any approvals needed, tasks as well throughout the organization. This next tab here is the task field. So the tasks can be assigned to individuals, or they can be automatically added through things like checklists and some automation on the back end. So we can add tasks as well to individuals. So if somebody, I'll add a task to me to complete new hire paperwork. Start date, due dates, reminder on a certain date and time. I can again put priority as well if I'd like to. So go ahead and submit. And then my tasks are all in this system here. So I can go ahead and add that, as well as I do get an email notification that a new task has been added as well. Yeah, so that's kind of the task list itself. So these are quite helpful if you have automated tasks. Things like if you have a new hire starting, it might flag your payroll department, as well as create a task for your IT department to set up an email address or something along those lines. The announcement tab is basically our module is basically our message board. So if we have messages for individuals within the organization, we can automatically add these to the message board or the announcement. The LMS, or the learning management system here, this is where we can add courses to an organization. So we can go ahead and add a course or a learning plan depending on what we would like to do. And basically add and require individuals to complete these courses. So you can add some of the content management, trainers, rooms, as well as kind of my team throughout this program as well. The onboarding module here itself, we can go into and we can automatically create onboarding flows for individuals. So if we have an employee onboarding here, we can go in and select things like their form that they need to fill out, any documents or policies. So right now they have to review the leave of absence form, and we'll go ahead and add the competency template as well, just as an example here, that they might need to review. So this is where you put things like your employee handbook, if you have one, or specific policies, confidentiality agreements that you might have them review prior to them starting. This is just an introduction to the team, any objectives that they might need. So we can go ahead and take that off if we want to. Any type of company information, so we can embed our company website URL into the system. And then finally, we can tag a checklist that in there. We've got 2 associated tags to that. So I'll just go ahead and preview on this. Now, this isn't exactly what the individual will see. This is just a preview of what it'll look like. So right now, it's showing me some of my information. So welcome aboard, Chris. Employee ID, job title, email address, that type of thing as well. We can see here, welcome aboard, my HR contact. Again, we can select who that might be. Currently, it's assigned to myself. I can see and fill in some of this information into the profile. So if I have a job summary, birth dates, mobile phone, my address, any tags that I want to add to myself, I can add all of this information, including education and any dependents that I might want to add, which again is very helpful for the HR department. The leave of absence request form. So these are the documents and policies. I can see here that the leave of absence request form, it's just taking a minute to load here. And I can review, these documents through here. If I click this one here, I can sit here and review. Again, just taking a minute for it to load the system here. Things like this where it has, again, this is just an example through it, but you can add different forms or different policies and manuals that an employee might need to review prior to them starting. And then this one won't work through this preview, but the employee will then be required to sign an acknowledgement form saying that they understand and agree to follow all of the policies that have been included in their onboarding procedure. Next, it can be their team. So again, I have myself as the department head, and then Justin and Joe within my group. I've of course embedded my company URL here, but you can embed whichever organizational URL or URL that you would like to include as well. And then finally here, right now it just has basically all this information here. These things would all be checked off once they've been completed. So right now I haven't signed off on that policy before, so it hasn't been completed. But again, this is just a preview on what it will look like for a new employee. So again, this is a really easy way for organizations to get their onboarding flows done properly and making sure that all of the proper paperwork has been filled out for all of your employees. And then the last one I just wanted to take a look at was the approvals. So right now I don't have any approvals that are required. I've already gone ahead and approved that discipline request earlier. Right now I have you've made a request for a leave, so that was done earlier. Now I can go ahead and of course take a look at this particular leave through the system here. So again, I have to go into the leave module to take a look at that one as well. So that kind of in a nutshell is the system here, all the different areas. Again, we can go into our services and we can add and remove different areas. So right now I don't have my time tracking module on here. Again, I can go ahead and add that into the system here. I can add my compensation if we'd like to add track assets or benefits as well. And then you can add cases so employees can bring up cases into the system as well. So I'll added those ones back into our profile. So again, we can do some of our time tracking if we want to be able to assign or track jobs throughout the process. So if you're an organization that does certain billables, we can track those and add projects and assign hours and find out how many hours have been assigned to each project. The other one here as well is cases. So again, if we have employees who would like to ask a question, we can add some of our general queries or add kind of a knowledge base for that. So I can add questions and just have a little more information for the HR department as well. So that was a quick run through of the software. And again, if you have any specific questions about the different areas or how you might be able to customize this to suit your needs, like I mentioned to you earlier, it is highly customizable. So we can build in the different forms that you might need and build in workflows so that we can create some automation and help remove a lot of maybe some of the administrative tasks that your organization is facing. So I want to thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thanks.